Some of the biggest rock acts to come out of the United States of America are known as one-hit wonders here in the UK. I'm talking about groups that define generations in the US, bands with sold-out tours, multi-platinum albums and songs burned into the DNA of America. But on this side of the pond, they only had one hit of note on our singles charts. And after that, radio silence. At 10, it's all about the cowbell. Don't Fear the Reaper is the only song from Blue Oyster Cult to crack our top 40, and it took 2 attempts to do so. Originally released in 1976, it failed to chart over here, but spent 20 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. 2 years later, in 1978, they re-released it again in the UK, and this time it peaked at a respectable number 16. In the US, they followed this with the likes of In Thee, Burning for You, Shooting Shark and Take Me Away. Reaper did become iconic over here, however, certified platinum for sales in the UK, and obviously a staple of rock radio. Blue Oyster Cult have toured here, they have a good fan base as well, some charting albums, but singles-wise, Reaper, with its eerie, instantly recognisable riff and haunting vocal, remains their one and done in the UK. And remember, this isn't about album sales or legacy or cult followings, this is strictly single sales, just the top 40. At number 9, George Clinton's Funkadelic, absolute pioneers. They blended rock, funk, politics and psychedelia into something totally unique. And in America, they were hugely influential. Across a 10-year period, 8 singles made the Billboard Hot 100, from I'll Bet You in 1969 to Not Just Knee Deep in 1979. I've always loved their album Maggot Brain, Super Stupid is an all-time favourite of mine, but in terms of chart single success this side of the Atlantic, One Nation Under a Groove is their only hit, going top 10 in 1978. Nothing before, nothing after. It's a shame. At number 8 is a band who morphed and changed, including their name, over many years, and they had loads of success in the USA, but just one hit in the UK. I'm talking about Jefferson Starship. This incarnation of the band in America had 17 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, with Miracles and Count on Me both going top 10. They also had 3 other hits land inside the top 20. But here, just one track, Jane in 1979, peaked at number 21, and that's it. And another interesting fact is the previous incarnation of the group, Jefferson Airplane, had 8 top 100 hits in America, including the classics Somebody to Love and White Rabbit, but they never achieved a single charting song in the UK. Sadly, us Brits didn't cotton on to the band until it became Starship, and they had a big hit with We Built This City in 1985, followed by a number 1 with Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. There's still some huge name bands to come for Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, real American heroes, but only one hit wonders here. I'd love to know what you make of this list. If you're British, does this sound about right to you? If you're American, are you surprised to see some of these selections make the top 10 and be classed as one-hit wonders? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe and press that hype button thing that seems to have popped up. Thanks. At number 7, we move into the 90s for a band whose hit still gets played today on mainstream radio here in the UK, but that is all they are known for. Despite having big hits in America with songs like Name, Black Balloon, Here Is Gone and Slide, over here, Goo Goo Dolls are one-hit wonders thanks to the monster Iris. The song flew up the charts all the way to number 3 and spent 13 weeks on our top 40. And according to the official sales records, BPI, they've certified it as 7 times platinum here as well. A huge hit that they could never get near replicating. At 6, we have a powerhouse female rocker who achieved plenty of success at home but barely troubled the charts in the UK. Joan Larkin, better known of course as Joan Jett, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 2015, had just one single reach the UK charts. In fact, she only had one album make the UK album charts too. Now, the song that cut through here was, of course, I Love Rock and Roll. It spent 3 consecutive weeks at number 4 in the chart in 1982, but other than that, nothing. In the US, I Hate Myself for Loving You and Crimson and Clover were both top 10 hits as well, and she also had success with songs like Do You Want to Touch Me, Little Liar, her version of Everyday People, and Fake Friends too. But none of these travelled well. She's a rock icon in the States, but a one-hit wonder here in Blighty. And at number 5 we have thinking man's rock, jazz rock, yacht rock, soft rock, Walter Becker and Donald Fagen together as Steely Dan. They've sold more than 40 million records worldwide, but for singles here in Britain, only one made any impact. Haitian Divorce from the Royal Scam album peaked at number 17 in 1976, and that's the best they could do. In the US, they achieved great success with the likes of Ricky Don't Lose That Number peaking at number 4, Do It Again peaked at number 6, Hey 19 hit number 10, Reelin' in the Years and Peg, they both peaked at number 11. There's Deacon Blues, which topped at number 19, plus songs like FM No Static at All, Time Out of Mind, Josie and Black Friday, they all landed inside the top 40 in America. Now, Steely Dan, often referred to as musically sophisticated, cryptic, sometimes cynical as well. So it's surprising that they didn't break through with British audiences at the time. At number 4 we have a band who had one of the most successful debut albums of all time. 17 million copies sold in America alone. They were huge. They had a number 1 single with Amanda in 1986. Don't Look Back, More Than a Feeling and We're Ready were all top 10 hits. Can't You Say, Long Time, A Man I'll Never Be, Peace of Mind, Feeling Satisfied. The list of their hits in their home country is deep. But in the UK, Boston only had one song that entered the charts. Just one. More Than a Feeling, peaking at number 2. What? 20? Peaked at number 22. Despite the incredible success stateside, the incredible talent of Brad Delp and Tom Scholz, they just couldn't get a grip here in Britain. And placing at number 3 on the list is a band that are arena rock mainstays with a staggering 23 Billboard Hot 100 hits. They had a number 1 single, while other tracks like Come Sail Away, Mr. Roboto, Too Much Time on My Hands, Don't Let It End, Show Me the Way, Lady, The Best of Times, they all went top 10. But for Styx, the UK never really embraced them. Their soppy hit Babe did peak at number 6 in 1979, and that was the best they could do. In fact, it was all they could do, the only Styx song to enter our charts in the top 40. 23 hits in the US, one-hit wonders in the UK. At number 2, we've got a band that helped define American music in the late 60s and 70s, but the UK only ever let them in the door once. Crosby, Stills and Nash, or Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, they only ever had one hit here in Britain. In America, CSNY, were architects of modern folk rock and singer-songwriter traditions. They played Woodstock, they wrote protest anthems, they built the blueprint for harmony-driven acoustic rock. And you think of in America, they had Sweet Judy Blue Eyes and an FM staple. Teach Your Children was a cultural touchstone. Our House, Southern Cross, Just a Song Before I Go, Wasted on the Way, Ohio, Woodstock. All these were top 40 hits. In fact, they weren't just hits, they were generational songs. They were movements. But over here, Marrakesh Express in 1969 reached number 17 in the UK charts, and that was it. No second act, no encore, nothing at all, even with Neil Young. And before I reveal the biggest one-hit wonder shocker on the list, don't forget to let me know in the comments if this list did shock you, or does it just make sense? Remember to like and subscribe too if you love deep cuts, chart mysteries, classic rock stories, or exclusive interviews with rock legends. And coming in at number 1 is one of the biggest American rock bands of all time, who had exactly one UK top 40 hit, and it wasn't even during their peak. In America, between 78 and 96, they had 27 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. 6 of those were top 10 hits, 13 in total landed inside the top 20. Incredibly impressive. But in the UK, only one chart placement came in 2009, and it was a re-release. Don't Stop Believin', originally released in 1981, reached number 6 in the UK charts nearly 30 years later, all thanks to Glee. But before that, after that, nothing. Journey achieved a level of domination and legacy on the US charts, stadium selling, rock radio staples, but they were ignored in the UK. One-hit wonders, eventually.